Hey Killer Bees, it's Paula B from PaulaBFitness.com, and on tap today it's the Hot 100. We are going all cardio, all standing, no equipment needed. Here's your warm-up, and when you're ready, you know I'm ready. Let's go! Alright you guys, let's get going. We're getting started with 45 seconds of walking, jogging, or running. You take it at your pace, I'm going to take it at mine. So here we go. You guys, the handy dandy gym boss today is set for intervals of 45 seconds of one kind of work and 15 seconds of not rest at all, but something of an active rest. Our goal today is to get that heart rate up. We're not working out for very long, so I want to make sure that we pack it in. So when it beeps, we're going to do 15 seconds of lateral tappers. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do lateral tappers. There's a very low impact, low heart rate version, and then there's the slightly more high impact and high heart rate version. And like all of our workouts, I always want you to take it at whatever pace suits you. So we are no repeat today, all standing, all cardio, all high heart rate, high calorie burning work. So lateral tappers, I'm going to take the low version today. Here's what we're going to do next is big arm side shuffles. We're going to need just a couple of feet of space on either side. Hands are going to come up overhead while we shuffle to the side and come down into a little bit of a curtsy lunge. So shuffle and curtsy, shuffle and curtsy. Great job. Really got that heart rate already up. You know, this Hot 100, we're not taking a lot of time on any of these workouts, but we are making sure that they work. Great job. When it beeps, we're going to go back into those lateral tappers again. So it's active rest every time. And you are welcome to take it at whatever you need to. If your heart rate comes up pretty high on some of these work intervals, and trust me, it will, you are welcome to take it at a nice, very slow, very gentle pace to really kind of moderate your heart rate. I don't want you to spike it too high, but I also want to make sure that it stays up today so that we can get the most out of our quick workout. So lateral tappers, just like that. Coming up next is windmills, which means that we're going to have our hands nice and wide and our feet nice and wide. No jumping for this one, though there is a little bit coming later. We're just going to reach our opposite hand for our opposite foot as quickly as possible. Now, I know this feels like flexibility work because it is, but if you are not super flexible, like I am not super flexible, don't worry at all about whether or not your hand is touching your toe. Not about that. It's about keeping your hands over your head and keeping your heart rate nice and high. The fact that we're getting a little bit of a stretch on the back of our legs as well as some bonus booty work, bringing those hips back forward, really starting to feel like butt work, isn't it? But this is meant to be high heart rate cardio. When it beeps again, of course, we're doing those lateral tappers again. Great job. Nice and quick, taking it at your pace as quickly as you can sustain. So lateral tappers, awesome. I'm getting a little bit faster now, kind of getting into the groove of this workout. When it beeps again, we're going to do a little bit more lateral movement. We're going to do a lateral shuffle again, but rather than touching the ground or doing a curtsy, we're going to do a can-can, knee and foot. Shuffle, knee and kick. Shuffle, shuffle, knee and kick. Awesome. Speaking of coordination, oh my goodness, really got to think for this one. But that thinking burns calories too, you know? Great job. Nice big kick. Again, not really about flexibility here. You're doing your best to bring that foot as high as possible. When it beeps again, of course, we're going back into those lateral tappers, keeping the heart rate up, but not super duper high. Letting it come up and down is actually a really efficient way to burn calories high and burn fat. Coming up next, oh, here comes the boom. We're going straight into jumping jacks now. Now here's the deal. You can always modify anything that I do that's jumping. You can do non-jumping. You can move both hands and one foot to make these non-jumping jacks. Now, of course, this one's a little bit tougher, so take it at whatever pace you need to be able to get through the whole 45 seconds. You know, I went with pretty aggressive intervals today to make sure that we could get the most bang for our buck. When it beeps again, definitely I will be doing the lower, more moderate version of those lateral tappers. Jumping jacks always bring my heart rate up real high. And That's what they're meant to do. Great job. Working on some good endurance work today. Keeping our heart rate up. Even for, kind of a relatively short amount of time. There we go. And lateral tappers. Even a relatively short amount of time really works that heart and lungs and builds your cardio endurance. When it beeps again, gonna keep our feet on the ground for the next one. A little bit of punch, punch, side kick. Which, as you can imagine, means that we're punching, punching, and side kicking. Punch, punch, side kick. Boom. Not about the power. Definitely not about the power in these kicks. This is more about quick movements and balance. Doesn't matter how big you can make that kick. We're just keeping that heart rate up. Boom. Excellent job. When it beeps again, whoo, doggies. Speaking of bonus booty work, feeling this one. When it beeps again, doing that lateral tap. Great job. This isn't really very strong punches either. I know you noticed that on mine. I could not hurt you if you were standing in front of me, but I'm not trying. And here we go with those lateral taps. Great job, you guys. We are more than halfway through my list. Coming up next is rotating frog reaches. Frog reaches means that we're going to keep those feet in that nice wide position. Again, getting some good inner and outer thigh work. Reaching down to the ground and up with a rotation. Down and up. Definitely not about trying to reach the ground here. This is actually a lot about coordination. Really thinking about landing your foot. Really thinking about making your body move the way it's supposed to. And oh my goodness, definitely about a high heart rate. Reaching up over your head, even when we're not jumping, brings that heart rate up, up, up. So making sure that your feet are nice and wide for that squat, but making sure that your hips go down rather than just your head or your hands going down. This is definitely a good squat and lateral taps. Awesome. Coming up next, we're going to do some more high hand work. No jumping for this next one, but the next two are jumping, both modifiable. This one is high hand oblique crunches. You're going to have hands up overhead, reaching your opposite elbow for your opposite knee. This is standing ab work that just happens to be done so quickly that it's cardio work too. I know, it's meant to be cardio work. The bonus is the fact that we're really working those abs. Great job. Nice and fast. Getting a little bit of a spring in that step there. Really thinking about keeping your feet, your landing nice and soft. Trying not to clump your feet down on the ground. The softer you can land your foot, the more your abdominal muscles are engaged. So really thinking about moving, well, not slowly, but definitely carefully. Lateral taps. Whoo, doggies. All right, you guys, coming up next, things are getting real. We're going star jumps. That's where we get little and get big. If you don't want to jump, you can do star bursts. Get little, get big, and go back and forth. I'm going to do the actual jumping version. It's totally up to you. What works for you. You can actually go back and forth. That's the great thing about a timer workout like this. You can do whatever you got to do to keep moving for the whole 45 seconds. Heart rate is coming up nice and high now. This is the magic of the Hot 100. You don't have to work out a lot. You just have to work out consistently every day, all summer long. Nice short workouts that get the work done. When it beeps, we're going back to those lateral tappers. Whoo-wee. Great job. Okay, I'm bringing my heart rate down a little for 15 seconds because you guys, coming up next, it's our last long interval. We're doing high knees. Again, you can go jumping or not jumping. You can go fast with just your knees. I'm going to do the jumping version. Making sure you're breathing. This is our last super high intensity interval. I know you can make it through because you've made it this far. When it beeps, we're doing those lateral tappers for the final time. Whoo-wee. Great job. Staying strong. thinking about landing those feet quietly, just like we were talking about, doing your best, making it through the whole Hot 100. Excellent. And lateral tappers to be done. You guys, this was a short workout, but it sure was a sweaty one. I really hope that you had a great time with this one today. Make sure that you tag me on Instagram at Paula B Fitness so that you can enter the Hot 100 contest. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a link right here and in the description below. Thank you so much for working out with me. I'll see you next time.